Hello, my friends. This is Lady Belladonna Laveau, and I'm the Archpriestess of the Aquarian Tabernacle Church. It has been a intense day. It has been an intense week, but today has been particularly difficult for many of us. And I want to reassure you that the Aquarian Tabernacle Church is here to protect your civil rights. Now, we often are like, we don't understand why we need churches in our lives. We, meaning pagans. We don't want to work with other groups. We've had problems with churches before. We don't like the word church. We want to, have our own little thing and do what we want to do. And we don't want anybody telling us what to do. And it's times like these when we really need the church, the ATC, because we're the church that fights for your civil rights. That's what we do. That's why Pete created this church. I'm very popular, and my phone just goes on and on and on. So I'm going to turn all this stuff down so you don't have to hear it. This is the reason that Pete created this church, is because he saw that pagans didn't have the same rights as everybody else. And he felt that that was an atrocity. And he wanted us to have the same rights that everybody else has. And so he fought really hard to create a legal 501c3. And then once he got the 501c3 for the church, he pushed forward and got the group exemption. And we are the only 501 group exemption for all of paganism. And it is times like these when I'm like, thank goodness we have this. Because if we can all learn to work together, we can overcome these kinds of things. Right now, we just get ran over because even though all of the different Christian groups do not agree on fundamentals, they have a coalition where they agree on certain things. They agree on the basic, they don't want this, they don't want that, and they all work together to influence legislature. They get politicians in place. They work to inculcate the culture and the values that are important to them. And you feel like you can't fight against it because you're just one little person in the big sea of, almost 8 billion people on the planet, but it's not true. You're not alone. We just have to work together. It's very important in times like these that we have each other. And Dusty and I work every day trying to protect your civil rights. And we do it while we have to hold down jobs to support ourselves and sometimes to support the church itself. It's very difficult to do this by yourself. And so I'm telling you right now that we're going to continue to fight for you. You're not alone. You're not by yourself in any of this. We love you. We are here for you. We're going to keep protecting you. And we need help. We need to work together. We need you guys to support the church and its mission, because its mission is not to tell you what to do. Its mission is to protect your rights. So while you're out there thinking that, the world is coming to an end, I want you to remember one very important thing. You cannot heal a disease that you cannot see. There is no reason to fix something that is not broken. It is when you can tell that something is broken that you can finally work to fix it. And Goddess knows we have seen so many broken things in our world here lately. I cannot believe the world that we wake up to every day. But it was 5 years ago. 2019, 2018, 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 4 years ago. I'm looking at Dusty. That's my wingman over there. 4 years ago, I went around the United States and I talked to different churches and covens, and I went to different festivals, and the goddess had a message. And her message was things were coming, and that you needed to be prepared, and that we needed to work together, and that we needed to rebuild her holy city, and that we needed to have a voice. So I'm going to tell you that we need you to help us. We need you to be part of the whole. Join the church, be a part of the thing, do a pledge, even if it's a little bit, do a pledge so that we can work together to make some things happen. It's really great if you can do a one-time donation, but if you can do a pledge, then we have a monthly budget that we know what we can do, and we know who we can influence, and we can make a difference that way. If we don't know if we're going to have money or not, it's very difficult to influence legislature to make any kind of plans for the future. We can't build the holy city without knowing that we have a monthly income. We can't get the bank to give us loans. We just can't do the things that this world needs us to do. You are being called to step up. You are being called to fight for our rights. You are being called to make a difference in the world. Us all together have been activated. Paganism has been brought back at this time because the world needs us. The goddess needs us. And we can make a difference if we do it together. I want you to know that we're still here. And we're going to stay here. And we're going to keep fighting for you. And we would really like for you to help us. I'm just about to go on tour. We are leaving the 6th, the 5th. We're leaving the 5th of July, and we're going to go around to 8 different coven steads and churches, and we're going to talk about what's going on right now. We're going to share the mission of the Mother Church, and we're going to hope that you guys realize how important what we're doing is. I know that you're hurting and I know that you're scared, but you don't have to be. You don't have to be. You just have to bond with the people that are doing the work and work to make a difference. It would be really helpful if some of you would run for political office. I have held a political office. Let me tell you how hard it was. They said, this is an empty slot right here. Who will do it? And I said, I'll do it. And then boom, I was on the Board of Education in my local community. If I hadn't been promoted to Archpriestess, I would have continued holding political offices and move up the ranks. That's how you do it. You don't need a high school education. You don't need a college degree. Does it help? Sure, it helps. But AOC was a waitress when she got elected to the Senate in New York. Or is it Senate? House of Representatives, Senate in New York? House of Representatives. You don't need a big, long history. You just need to apply for the positions that are available. And once you get in there, do something. Do something good. Figure out what needs to be done and do it. And then go to the next place. Find the next unopposed and run for it. Or find the next thing that you feel like is important to do and run for that one. Kirk White, who created Cherry Hill Seminary. Y'all know Cherry Hill Seminary? Kirk White got elected to his Congress in Vermont. First politician that's pagan that I know of. There might be other ones because it really isn't very popular to say, hey, I'm pagan, vote me in, right? But you can do this. We don't have to feel like we don't have any way to fight back, but we do have to act differently. And the way we act differently is we value what Pete built for us, and we work together to make it stronger. The ATC is not here to teach anybody how to worship. It's not here to push a tradition. It's not here to govern churches or to create pagans. What it is here to do is to band us all together so that we can protect our rights. That's what we've been doing for the past decade. That's what Pete did for the 40 years before that. Is it 30 years? 40 years? I don't know. It's been a long time. We're coming up on 40-year anniversary, 50-year. It's been a long time. 1979. If you can math, do the math. This is what we need to do. Don't sit around and be scared. Don't sit around and be sad. Don't feel like the world is over. This is when we fight. The way we fight back is with brains, not guns. The way we fight back is with pen and paper, with influence. We get together and we work together, and together we can make a stronger world. I hope this has helped you feel better, and I hope that this has given you a plan of action. We'll do this. This is not going to be the end of it. This is not over. This is just a moment that is testing us and making us stronger. I love you. Think about what I've said. Have a good weekend. And I hope that you feel better. Good night. I love you.